hear each other? We hear each other?
Yeah, I hear it perfect.
I can hear you.
Sounds very
You
good.
hear you, Gaetano?
Yeah, I hear you.
Loud and clear, right?
Loud and clear, yeah.
Loud and
Much
clear.
better than
From
last time.
downtown,
Sounds
right?
perfect.
From
Much better than
downtown.
last
How's my hair?
Always good.
That's good.
Always good.
Because with this thing now that it's...
No,
You mean
it's
your
always
wig?
good.
Yours is at Elvis
So
Presley.
much? What does that mean?
It's puff.
Oh,
Elvis says you have the chufa.
Mike, you're starting to lose hair, Mike. Are you starting to lose hair?
Yeah, I have to...
I
Why?
can see it. I can see the
No,
line of white spots.
it's
because
white
it's
spots. It's growing.
Worried me.
A
You
lot
wish-
of stress from
you
Milan.
wish you had
a lot
to-
of stress from Milan.
You wish you had all his
he's,
hair.
he's,
I'm
he's
not.
already trying to copy you with the shirt.
Mike,
Yeah.
he's jealous of your hair.
By the way, are we on or we did?
We're on.
Oh, crap. This is bad.
Why is it bad?
All right, so why do we have to start with this petty crap? We have to start with soccer.
Who said we
instead of-
started? You started talking, and from there we went.
All right, so hey, why don't you do the introduction one time?
Welcome to the best show on earth with the best, should we say here, Marco, just fresh from Italy. He just came back from Italy, which they had a great show sponsored by CBS and Paramount. It was one of the best show I ever seen.
All right, we interrupt this podcast because we have a word from our premium sponsors of IFTV. The reason why we can do this for such a long time, they're sponsoring for the entire year, the entire season. Paramount Plus is your home to watch Serie A in the United States. You get Champions League, Europa League, everything.
Conference League,
And
Coppa Italia.
What makes me very
Serie A.
happy, Mike, and we mentioned this before, we have pre-match, halftime, and post-match coverage that is constantly on. We've got me, we've got Mike Grella, Bonetti, Dre Cordero, Papi, sometimes even Bobo Vieri, who was on live from the San Siro. We even had somebody from Venice who was on a boat traveling, showing us and documenting the beauty of Italy. Because if there's one thing I know, is that Italy is the most beautiful country in the world. It seems like Paramount Plus agrees because they want to show that, they want to broadcast that. Guys, the link in the top of our description,
Check it out,
is
guys.
ParamountPlus.com/IFTV. I think you still get a free month if you go right now. Don't even wait till tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe. I think my dad told me that if you subscribe for 12 months,
It's
you
under
get it even cheaper.
$5. Yeah, under
Is it true?
$5. This is probably the best investment I made for culture because there's just so many competitions that you can get. Getting Paramount quenches my thirst of culture. How you not gonna watch the European games? You're not gonna. How you not gonna watch Serie A? How you not gonna watch a Supercoppa, the incredible Supercoppa Italiana, the Coppa Italia that was just been going on the past few days.
I have 2 accounts.
But Marco, it's not just, even if you like culture, but you also like shows, you like movies. They have amazing movies, new shows. They have a lot of stuff going on. And of course, 2022 is going to be an even bigger year for Paramount. They're doing a lot more stuff and they're just so ingrained, I think, in this culture. And it's only going to get better from here.
The one theme that we have during this entire podcast, as we were mentioning before, is that don't judge where we are right now, right? We said the coaches, they need time. Slowly but surely, things with Paramount, the coverage is going to get bigger. It's going to get better. 2022, the ideas and the things that they want to do going to Serie A and building around the coverage is even bigger and better. So look at the roots. They're healthy. They're thriving, and I think that
growing.
We're gonna get to a really awesome place. But it's all thanks to Paramount Plus. We appreciate them for sponsoring IFTV, guys. If you enjoy our show, it's all thanks to them. It's thanks to them that we're able to put this on. So help support them. Link in the top of our description. Go get it.
And back to the podcast.
Plus.
And Paramount
Plus.
With Bobo Vieri, Matteo, Grella, and Papi. You guys did a fantastic job.
Incredible.
I watched from start to end. I mean, everybody was great. And you also had some creativity, some things that just, you could see that they were spontaneous. And then you were all over Milano and the Duomo, La Madonnina. And I didn't know that the Madonnina is the highest point, so that
in the city center.
She protects. That was very interesting. So, very good. Congratulations.
And now I'm back here with you guys in Brooklyn.
I'm always pointing
We are happy.
Somehow.
We are happy to have you back here with the, as he calls them. What do you call it here? The
goat.
I mean, the thing the most surprising thing, the thing I couldn't believe is I'm in San Siro And all of a sudden, I'm hearing on the side of my, I hear IFTV. I see IFTV. I thought for sure I was hearing something. And then I hear, where is Antonio?
Oh my God, next time I'm going to have to be there. So you stay here.
No.
No, you stay here. I'm going to go over there.
Voodoo.
But overall,
Yeah, but the thing is that you didn't understand was that it was not where's Antonio from
This
IFTV.
Antonio.
It was Antonio Cassano they were looking for, not him.
he's just a phony, right?
Yeah, he's not looking for him.
Antonio, how did that make you feel?
Oh, I love it. I lost sleep over that. Now,
Peter lost sleep.
First of all, I had the best day of my life.
Sorry to hear that.
On my week. Let's put it this way. On my week. I had the best day of my week. Just watching Peter's expression, because Peter was already celebrating, and then watching his face after the 2-1, that was the best you can just hope for it. So,
I did enjoy watching your guys' video. I was watching it when I was there. It was hilarious. It was honestly hilarious to see you when you switched seats, and then all of a sudden, Milan scored 2 goals. The atmosphere, I would say, in San Siro, before I say that, also speaking about you, that somebody was there. I met 7 people in Italy that stopped me for IFTV. Mm-hmm. 3 Italian kids said that they watched the podcast to help learn English. They said it's so boring to learn English doing something else.
Great.
So they listened to this because at least it's with calcio. So I thought that was very cool. Even on the plane and the airport, it's very cool. So congratulations to you guys as well. It was very
I'm
very
not
awesome
sure
to
if they're
see.
learning English the proper way, because I was called an ESL many times. ESL means English as a second language.
Yeah.
But hey, this is not my primary language. I'm still learning.
You speak it great, I think, Anton.
What?
You speak it great, I think.
Oh, I appreciate
First time that you get a
course.
comment.
That's a
Oh, I see
compliment.
that.
A compliment.
Yeah,
It's nice every once in a
Thanks,
while.
Mike.
But anyway, the atmosphere at the derby when Milan won, you would never believe that was half capacity in the San Siro, and I could never imagine. I can't even fathom if there was double the amount of people at that match, because I couldn't hear myself think. When the Milan fans started cheering, there's a couple times that we were live, I lost my train of thought. Because they screamed at like the exact time I was thinking about something, and my brain went everywhere. They were so loud. It was an unbelievable experience overall. We'll talk about that later. But let's talk about the match first off. Milan won 2-1 against Inter in a huge comeback. Tale of 2 halves, because the first half it was really dominated by Inter. They went in with the first goal 1-0, but then a couple of changes that I think really helped decide the match. Milan wanted the game a lot more, in my opinion, and Giroud, in his first ever derby, scores the 2 goals, and he became the hero. Antonio, how do you feel right now?
Okay, look, I agree 100% with you. The first half was Inter to try to capitalize, but unfortunately they did not. The best player were your left wing over there, that he tried a couple of times. He got lucky with one beautiful shot. I mean, it's more of a defensive mistake than. But anyway, he scored. He gave a lot of trouble to Calabria. But the best player of the second half, he was not on the field. He was on the bench, and he was the coach of Inter. It was Inzaghi. He's the one that won the game for us, because he did what we were waiting for him to do. In other words, taking Lautaro out, he took Perisic out, he took nothing but the best player that they were performing at the highest level on the field, and he gave us the game. I mean, at the very most, we should have at least tied the game, deserved the tie. Winning was at least a gift from Inzaghi, then we appreciate it. So, I'm not sure if we can return the favor, but I don't think it's going to happen. But
You're such a troll.
If anything, just if you can get in touch with Inzaghi, especially you that you are in, in this kind of a high level broadcasting, you can say thank you very much from IFTV and from Antonio. I appreciate that.
I thought you were going to say Brahim Diaz wasn't on the field, but
the main thing, the main thing is that Giroud deserves his compliment, and Magnan, of course, on the first half it was spectacular. So, but then when you review again the chances, Magnan, he just shielded the ball. His positioning, for me, it's perfect.
the difference was the
second to no
goalkeeping,
one.
though.
Yeah.
Think about what Handanovic didn't save, and then think about what Magnan did save. Big difference.
But if Maignan didn't even make those saves, if you guys, first of all, Donnarumma's out of the. I think all the Milan fans forgot about Donnarumma just because Maignan was so good. There was the huge deflection too, where he was going his one way and he managed to pop his hand out and save it. He had a huge game. He couldn't do anything on the Perisic goal, obviously, because it was a defensive error. But in that first half, I really thought, Inter, it's all Inter. It's only a matter of time till they get the second goal, maybe even third goal. And second half, I was so surprised. It was one of those things. I saw Peter. I was like, man, we didn't capitalize on our chances enough. It looked like one of those things. Like
see,
only
now
one
we
goal.
came to the guy. In our chance. He's an Inter son of a cow.
Wait,
And now he's
no,
disclosing himself. Look at this, guys.
I was saying it for
He's
Peter. What
disclosing
Peter was
himself like
thinking.
he's on AC Milan.
I
Our chance.
was saying for what Peter was thinking.
This is about our 100th or so podcast. Speak into the mic.
No one hears
sorry.
you. But yeah, I was saying what Peter was probably thinking with the chances, how they had so many chances in the first half, and if you can't close the game there, it can come around and bite you, and that's exactly what Milan did. Yeah, Handanovic probably could have done better on the Giroud goal for the winner, but regardless, you got to give Milan a lot of credit, especially Kessie. He wasn't really fitting that position in that trequartista role. So Brahim Diaz, who I gave so much flack to after his injury because he was never the same player, but he proved me wrong. He played very good. He put a lot of pressure on Inter's defense, and Inter didn't help themselves. Like you said, the player of the match for Milan was Inzaghi, because the midfielders that they took out, he shot himself in the foot, which was very, very strange for him.
Mikey,
Let's keep on the topic of
Didn't
Milan
I
first.
call this before the end of the first half, 10 minutes? I said I want to see Brahim Diaz immediately coming in before the game starts.
not that big of a
I said Messias, listen
prediction.
to this. And I called. I didn't like Kessie. I didn't like Kessie.
didn't play
over
good.
there. He was
out of position. He was trying his
totally
best.
out.
He just
totally
finished
out.
too with Ivory Coast too, so it was difficult for
Krunic
him.
does a better job in trying to take out some of the best players, the creator of the maneuver of the opposite team. He couldn't take care of Brozovic. Brozovic was all over the place, so he didn't do anything.
So for let's continue on Milan and then we'll transition. I agree. Brahim Diaz really helped change the game because there was finally somebody who could take on his man. The only other thing I echo exactly what you guys said was Kalulu did a really nice match as well. He was probably one of the biggest question marks for many people around here. Even before the match, it was something that we were saying. They were without their two main center backs, Kier and Tomori. And I have to say that they stepped up. He had Lautaro on lock. Inter's attackers really didn't create that many chances. Yes, even in the first half, even if they did, I didn't think their attackers did that much to find those spaces. So really credit to Kalulu as well because he's now talked about. Anything about Milan?
So I thought that Milan, when I saw them on the field and they took the field, I thought they were doing a good job with Theo on Dumfries, even though Dumfries had a couple of chances and he made a couple of crosses. Then Tonali and Barella. He put Tonali and Barella, Theo on Dumfries. He put Kessie on Brozovic because he didn't want Brozovic to touch the ball.
He wasn't marking him as much as I thought.
Man to man. I watched the first half. It was man to man. Whenever Brozovic went, that's where Kessie was. And then you had on the other side, you had Calabria against Perisic, even though I thought Perisic was doing very good. Perisic had a lot of crosses in the first half. I think that what Pioli was trying to do is man-to-man pick up and don't let them play. Hey, it's 1-0. I stayed in the game. It's the first half. We're still in this game. In the second half, I'm losing. The only moves that he has, he's got Brahim and he's got Messi. There's no other move that you can make. And those two moves, they paid off because Brahim pushed up and he went behind Brozovic and he found some space in between Brozovic and the defense and he tried to there, he took a shot and then Giroud scored the goal. So I thought the way that AC Milan played, he made all the right moves, he took a chance. I think Inter, of course, was the better team and I still think it's the better team and everybody was picking Inter. By the way, the only one that picked AC Milan is Marco.
What about me?
And he also had. Well, I wasn't here because I was not on the show. I don't know.
Where were you?
I don't know. I was not invited for the show.
Mike, is that true that you didn't invite me?
There's a lot of shots
Well,
fired. right
Gaetano
now.
told me if you need someone,
all right.
you can call on me. I was like, okay.
So anyway,
people.
the
I don't wanna bother
only one that had the right score was Marco.
You can tell he's my father. He's really giving me a lot of credit.
And
You guys are related?
and also we're talking about Bobo. We're talking about big shots that everybody was going for Inter, and I think that Inter still has the best team. But Pioli did a great job by pairing up everybody. I think the only one that was having a lot of hard time was Calabria, which Perisic was doing a very good job. And in the second half, he made the move. He was losing, so he had nothing to lose. He made the move that he had to make, and it worked out. And so Milan did a great job. Also, they had some help from the Inter.
I'm dying to hear Peter's thoughts. Real quick though, I would say the only reason why I chose Milan to win is because I just knew that Milan had more to lose. If Milan lost, the Scudetto was over for them. That hope was over. So it's kind of like when you, in my opinion, it's like when you put a dog into a corner, right? They're going to come back and bite and attack you. So that's why I felt like Milan had to win this match. And that was my rationale for, even though I think Inter is a better team, I think that's why I had Milan winning the match, was just because of that. But Peter, please, let's hear your thoughts.
No, please, we all want to hear your thoughts.
He's lying to you. He's lying. I'll tell you the reasons why. Then you go. He's a little liar. That guy, he wants Juventus to win the campionato because he still hasn't given up. So it's not really, doesn't care about whether we still fight.
I want an exciting league title.
He's selfishly looking at himself.
Say the truth.
I could care less if he cares about Milan.
Neither do I, to be honest with you.
Tell the truth.
Pete?
No, I mean, listen. Definitely, we give credit to Milan, in the way that they won the game, being, let's say, not the favorite to win. The fact that they were already down 1-0. It took a lot of courage and the ability to get back into the game and then eventually win the game. I agree. Milan had a lot to lose in this game. If they potentially lost, not only is the pressure of not getting into the Scudetto, but also the people behind. With Juventus getting, Vlahovic and Zakaria changes the team dramatically, as we see both players score.
Don't exaggerate.
Okay, but listen, I think Pioli made the right subs, but like we all said, it was really the only subs to really put on. Who else does he have to change a game on the attacking front? I think beginning, just for talking about Milan, Kessié, I think he used him as what he did with Krunic in the first derby, and Krunic I think was much better in stopping Brozovic. Kessié, at times he was there, but he really struggled being able to.
He was not following Brozovic that much. I watched Brozovic's entire match. Yeah. First half, he was not man marking him.
But I don't think it wasn't the game plan. I think the game plan was him there to stop Brozovic. I think he was just not doing the right job. Tactically, maybe not disciplined. And it showed. Brozovic was free to do what he wanted. And I think until Kessié got subbed out, Brahim Diaz, now all of a sudden the cards turn, because Diaz is a guy that wants the ball, that receives the ball, that will take a man on, and it creates more problems for Inter in that sense. So sometimes, your best attack is your best defense, right? Then let's talk about Inter. I think for 65 minutes, 70 minutes, Inter were the better team. The way that we've been able to play this whole season, on the attack minded foot, on the possession-based football, great wing play. I mean, Perisic and Dumfries gave a lot of trouble to Calabria and Theo Hernandez. I think Theo did better because physically he was able to withstand Dumfries, but Perisic literally did what he wanted with Calabria. And then obviously the Inter midfield, this quality in Brozovic, Çalhanoğlu, and Barella. I think
all subbed, by the way.
That's what I was about to get to. So obviously you miss your chances. I mean, Dumfries has the ball right in front of the goalie. You have to slot that into the corner. Çalhanoğlu has Mike Maignan beat. Listen, these are things that happen during a game. I can't say, hey, you should have shot it first. You should have beat him on a dribble a little bit better. He didn't. But you potentially have the goalkeeper outside the box. You have the ball. You're a creative player, one of the better players on the Inter team. You got to score that chance and put this game to rest already. 2-0. It's a downhill battle. And I think Inzaghi, if there's a way to overmanage, I think that's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think he overmanaged this game where he's already looking. We have Roma on Tuesday.
future.
We have the
How so?
game versus Napoli. Because a lot of these subs are kind of premeditated. If you see, a lot of the subs are always the same guys. And obviously, in a 3-5-2, your wingbacks are spending a lot of energy. So those are the guys that usually get subbed. But, I mean, in a game that's 1-0, obviously you got to be cognizant of the energy levels. But you're not up to nothing that you can take out your best players. Perisic was having a ball. Unless, there's been, reports, I didn't follow up with it, that maybe he felt something or they took him out for precaution. But Perisic was having a game and a half. You keep him on. Barella was playing well. You
was
keep
only
him
one
on.
goal.
Brozovic, you take out Brozovic, you don't have a substitute for Brozovic. I'm sorry. Barella stayed on. I'm sorry. But Çalhanoğlu, right? You don't have technical players. Your best bench player technically in the midfield, Sensi,
He left.
leaves and goes to Sampdoria. So you
And
only
scores.
and you only have muscle. You only have a Vidal. You only have Gagliardini. You only have a Vecino. So
Isn't that weird though? We've always been talking about Inter having such a great depth of bench. So are you saying they don't have that?
No, they do have the depth, but the technical midfield players, you can't take out two of them. You can't take out Çalhanoğlu and Brozovic. One of them has to be in there.
And Perisic.
And Perisic, and then also takes out Bastoni for for moving Di Marco into a left.
But
Well, Bastoni was subbed by Darmian, right?
he started making those moves defensively because he was still winning 1-0.
Yeah.
When he put Di Marco, I thought that he put him because he wanted to. Hey, I'm winning 1-0 now. I'm gonna park the bus, and he started making those moves. Now the other thing about Inzaghi that I read is when he gets to the 70th minute, he starts making the substitution, and whoever has got a yellow card has got to come out.
Yeah.
I think that I have read that. I don't know if that's that. I didn't pay attention for the past games.
Consistent.
But he has statistics
stats.
where whoever's got the most yellow cards,
Takes it
he also has been coming out the most.
I haven't paid any
Yes.
real attention to that,
Yeah,
but
it
I
was-
believe it because
yeah.
it's always the same type of subs.
You know exactly what's gonna happen.
Listen, with Venezia, he ended up keeping Dzeko in the game, and he scores in the last minute, and Inter win. But Dzeko, if you're so worried about energy levels, how is Dzeko, 35 years old, playing every game, 90 minutes? And I think, in this game, yes, he does a lot of the dirty work. You said
He
you're
runs.
staying
I could not
live.
believe how much Dzeko is everywhere. He gets the ball into the midfield.
Yeah.
He'll play the ball back.
Yeah.
He does so much work off the ball. So he's got a lot of running. You're right.
Yeah. And but the thing is, okay, he does the running. He did a lot of dirty work, but he wasn't as effective in this game, right? So at that point, Lautaro is wearing the number 10 for this Inter team. This guy has to be able to get the ball and play the 90 minutes in this derby. Even Çalhanoğlu, he's got a lot of motivation in this game. He should not be getting out unless, obviously you said the yellow card. So that could have played a factor in Inzaghi's schemes or whatever he did. But you cannot, you cannot take these risks that the game is only 1-0.
Yeah.
You take Milan needed that one chance and they took it. 1-1. Now what do you do?
Changes the game. You're screwed.
Then they
you
were
don't
scared.
have the other
Yeah.
midfielders to play. And you saw when you took out Brozovic, if you saw the last 15
It
minutes,
changed completely.
I saw the
But
fear in
there was-
Inter come out.
it wasn't even the fear.
They didn't know what to do in midfield.
There was no creativity
Yeah.
and no ability to possess the ball. Everything was
Go
a long
forward.
ball.
Yeah,
Vecino, let's figure it out.
Listen. This is Inzaghi's. He's not a big time coach, Inzaghi. Okay, I never liked him from when he was in Lazio. He's a good coach, but he's not a big time coach. And he gets he gets the fear, and that's why he started. Oh my God! And he put Di Marco there, and then he put he took Bastoni out, and then he put to be more defensively.
Yeah.
I don't understand this guy.
I do. I'll tell you the
One
reasons
second,
why.
one second.
But the
Go ahead,
reason
finish
why, and then he got very upset at the end. He was kicking the bottles, he was cursing at everything, because
I've never seen
How-
somebody more animated.
okay,
I love that.
I understand.
My God,
I mean,
I love that.
I like the Vry. I felt bad for the Vry. That's why I wanted to see the goal. I said, let me see the goal again. That Giroud.
He got turned
the
inside
turn.
out.
It was a
But
great move.
I have to see it once again. But I think the Vry
On his birthday.
was running. He was running past Giroud, and Giroud stopped the ball and turned around. It's not that Giroud was in front of me and I'm and I'm like this. So when he got the ball, the right was already set in both feet.
Side.
I think the right was running.
He was on the side already.
Yes, he was running, and then Giroud was very, very smart to do that. So I'm going to give a little bit to the right that he was not in balance. I got to see it again, but I think if you see it again, it was not balanced. He was running away from Giroud.
The one thing
but anyway, you're in the middle of the defense. You got to stop that. You cannot let Evan do that.
Pete, but the one thing we've praised Inzaghi, right? We've had this Inzaghi versus Conte battle, right? This whole year, it's kind of been a theme that Inzaghi's team is more fluid, they're more free, they attack, they create more chances. Conte's team locks it up. But is this one of I'm asking you, is this one of like the defects of Inzaghi? Is like, do you think with Conte this would have been a game that they grind it out, they lock it out, they're not going to give up 2 goals within 4 minutes?
So I think. I had this discussion with Vinny, as another Inter fan. We know him.
Vinny who?
Vinny Russo, friend of the podcast.
You can't just say Vinny. You got to say Vinny Russo.
Listen, I don't want to give last names. So.
Oh, boy. Vinny Russo, we got you already.
Mike, you can cut the last names.
I'll cut out whole Antonio's part out. That's good. That's fine.
But we were having this discussion, and I think I have to give a little credit to Inzaghi. I think the way that we've been playing, this is the best Inter I've seen in a long time. The way that we play, the way that we possess the ball, it's a free-flowing style. I do criticize him on some of the subs because this is not the only time. I think in the past, Inter's bravura, right?
He does it all the time.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's gotten away because Inter has quality players that they can decide a match even without any tactics or any problem. So, I was talking about this. I think one thing that this Inter team lacks that we had under Conte was the transition play and counter-attack. If you notice, with Inter, with Conte's Inter, when we would lock up, our counter-attack was lethal. Obviously, you had 2 great interpreters, Hakimi and Lukaku. So if you notice, Dzeko, even in this Milan game, he tried to take on a man, but he's not quick enough. He's not strong enough to really dribble somebody and make something happen.
He tried a few times.
Yeah, he tried, and
he didn't succeed.
He failed miserably.
Yeah.
So and even
failed miserably.
Yeah, he did. and even
he lost.
And even Lautaro. Lautaro's not that type of player that he's quick, but he's not gonna take on 2-3 guys.
Yeah.
Lukaku was that steam engine where he got the ball, and we saw it even versus Milan.
40
remember
yards.
that time?
I don't.
Yeah, you should remember. And he raced past players and put the
So
ball
is that the
back.
players or is that the coach?
No. So what I'm getting at is with Conte in his style, I think this game is won. But I also don't think that it was Inzaghi's style that led to this demise.
Okay.
Can I quickly reply? I finally heard all of you guys say, but you guys are missing the biggest point. To me, Inzaghi is by far much better than Conte, and I'll tell you the reasons why. Inzaghi has created a group where everybody feels that they belong. This is the main reasons why he makes those stupid substitutions sometimes, because he wants Vidal to feel like, hey, I was part of the game and I came in 15, 20 minutes before. Then he had somebody else. He wants everybody to know that they are just as good as the starter of the game, and he wants them to feel that they belong over there. He wants them to feel that, and that's why he's giving them the 15 to 20 minutes, whatever is given to them, because at the end of the day, he wants everybody to say, hey, we won the game, not just the start.
What do you got in this, rough?
So that was, I think we conclude on the derby.
No, I have one thing.
Okay.
Same.
Giroud, for me,
Oh boy.
knocks over Sanchez. Like, I want to see it again.
You want to talk about
but
the first goal?
I'm sorry, he impedes him. Like, Sanchez has the ball, and Giroud literally is very clumsy in his entrance. I think
He just was
if
strong.
somebody would have called a foul there, nobody would have said anything.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
No.
You should be ashamed of
Did you
yourself.
watch it?
There's not even called a fallo.
Yeah.
Not even un mezzo fallo. First of all, it was a 50-50
No.
collusion. It was a 50-50 collusion.
Collision.
And collision, whatever.
Collision.
You should be ashamed of yourself if to call something like that.
Collision.
We
I'm just bringing it up to the podcast.
Bringing that up.
I think he was.
Let's all say, okay, clearly you think it's a foul. You don't think it's a foul.
Absolutely not.
Michael?
I mean, it looked a little aggressive at first, but it was a shoulder to shoulder. They're both kind of going for the ball. I think he was just a little bit stronger. It wouldn't be
More than a
crazy if
little
we give it, but I never like when the ref blows every 30 seconds. So I appreciated that he kept
The
it
one
going.
thing that you
Roma.
okay, but the match as a whole, I felt the referee was allowing a lot to go. I mean, when you watch the play in slow motion, it looks like a foul. But when you see the full dynamics of the game, the intensity and how the game is going, I didn't think it was a foul. Like I did not think it was.
Slow motion makes everything worse, by the way.
I agree with you that we have seen it called in Serie A. For the way that I like football, I would give that. I say that has to be played, and I think that the way the referee, officiated the match, it was a right call.
Yeah, there were a few things with the VAR, and that was one, and the other one was with the Roma game. And I think that has to be the intensity. Like we have said this before, you cannot really see if I push you shoulder to shoulder. I mean, the referee is there; he could see the intensity.
He was in the perfect position,
right?
too.
On the VAR, you can't see it. So I think it would help also if the referee would explain it. There's very, very little communication. What would it take? Just
we've gone over that.
Explain it. So maybe because people don't understand. You see, everybody's questioning, and even in the paper they question it. So there's a lot of questions.
I agree 100%. I'll tell you why, Marco. We have a Super Bowl Sunday coming up.
Okay. No. Guys, we've talked about this. Antonio, you mentioned the same thing 72 times. We do not need to repeat ourselves.
Explain to me.
We've heard that argument 17 times.
Communication is very important.
Yeah, we all agree. We're all
I was joking before, Mike.
The one player that I was most impressed with watching live was Brozovic. I have never seen a guy so good before. He is by far the best defensive midfielder in Serie A. I was mesmerized just watching him. He is so genius in the little things that he does. Number one, he's got the hardest job in the team. He is constantly the last man, that if he loses the ball, it's a goal for Milan. And he has this calmness about his game that is unbelievable. He will drop a shoulder and he'll beat his man. He fakes out whoever's in front of him. He gets the ball. His touch is perfect. He's calm. He's cool. He sends the right pass. Physically, he is everywhere on the pitch. I literally could not watch anything else but Brozovic every single time. There was one opportunity. He won the ball inside Inter's box brilliantly. He got into Milan's box on the other end, and they nearly scored. And he was fine, and he ran back. He is an engine, and I could not believe how good Brozovic was. It's almost unfortunate because nobody was even talking about how good he was, because obviously when Inter lose, that's what happens. But I can't say enough of how much I enjoy just watching him play the little things.
So I got two questions for you. Well, that's why Pioli put Kessie on him man-to-man.
But Kessie didn't do a good job.
No, he didn't do a good job. But look at the first 35 minutes of the game. He doesn't leave him alone. But my question for you is, why was Brozovic substituted?
No, I have no idea. That I don't know.
I think what Peter was saying was correct. Thinking about the future games.
No, please. I never want to hear this.
But people, that's what they do, though.
No, this is the derby. You win. First, you have to win this game. After this game, you think about the next game.
But they don't do that.
After the next game, then you could start somebody else if the guy cannot play. Then you make somebody else start. But you have to win this game before
I agree with you on
about
that.
the next game.
No, I agree with you on that, but I just don't think that's how it is.
If coaches do that, I mean, me as a player, I want to win this game. I don't care. I will fight until I can. I will run my ass until I cannot run anymore. When this game is over, we'll think about the next game.
Marco, say something nice about Tonali, please.
Tonali was really nice too. I enjoyed watching him play. The battle was nice to see how he sees the game and how I played as a defensive midfielder, so when I watch these kind of players, I know how difficult it is to play in that position, and it takes a lot of energy. So really, the level of this game, you don't realize from the TV how intense, how physical, how strong, and how concentrated they have to be. It's beautiful, and I was right there. I didn't watch the game good tactically because I was right behind Handanovic, but you see the intensity of the game. You see how quick things really are. gorgeous.
What was the comments after the game when you were off the camera of Bobo Maigrella, the professional? Something that you could say. If you cannot say, we understand.
No, I think everyone was very surprised. Obviously, everyone had Inter winning. That was the big sentiment the entire weekend, was that Inter was the better team and Inter was going to win. But everyone was impressed by how Milan adjusted and
Can I
turned
ask
back
another
against.
question?
Okay.
No.
If you can answer, did anybody blame Inzaghi?
I don't think so.
He's
Don't
dying.
think
He's
so.
dying. He's hoping. He's like, please,
I'll be honest. I missed a lot of what they said. Because I didn't listen to the whole show.
Let's say going to the restaurant afterwards.
I'll be completely honest with you. We didn't even talk about the game.
Okay.
What do you
We
have
didn't.
against
Hey, I gotta tell you
Inzaghi?
something.
Did he do something to
We
you?
didn't talk about the game.
I gotta tell you something about your crew and all your friends over there, Mike Grella and Matteo and Papi. Matteo Bonetti, being an AC Milan fan, now it's already on the open. Nobody can deny it. They show you his picture when he was a young kid with his shirt. It bothers me when what's his name? Perisic scores and it just it's like it's an AC Milan score. That bothers me.
He's going to be objective. What's the matter with you?
He's not
He
like
has
you.
to
He's
be
a
objective.
professional.
Bothers me. Yes, celebrate, but don't make it like it's the World
No,
Cup. The best goal of the world. He was a.
No.
Oh my
He's
God.
impartial.
No, Matteo.
He's impartial.
Good job.
Matteo, do me a favor, especially when Inter scores against us. Don't celebrate like that again, please.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. You guys want to talk about Roma?
Oh boy.
Or
That's a lot.
Juventus? Which one you want to go to Roma? Let's talk about Roma.
we could do
They
that.
tied 0-0 with Genoa. We were just talking off camera. We watched 2-3 times what happened at the end, because in the end of the day, the match will be remembered because of the goal that Zaniolo scored in the 91st minute that was taken away because of a Tammy Abraham foul. Scored a beautiful goal from Zaniolo. And then Zaniolo was actually sent off. We replayed it about 17 times to try to hear what Zaniolo said. From what we read, from what we saw, the only thing that we could judge, all we saw him say was, "What were you blowing the whistle for?" We don't know if he mentioned anything else, but he was sent off. After the match, Mourinho was fuming. He even said that this is how you realize that Roma is small. It doesn't have the same power that some of the other teams do. And he's saying every single time the calls are against Roma. He said there's been so many cases of that. Guys, the foul. I know we disagree. We're already arguing a little bit off camera on what we thought. You want to start?
No, let him start.
Okay, I'll tell you what I saw. Okay, I saw this is a typical foul that it was unintentional. It could have been. I mean, it's a total different from what the collision that Giroud had on the midfield with that Peter was complaining about it. But it was a similar foul that it could have been just let go. Okay, that foul. I mean, unless you really put an enlargement lens on the fluidity of the game, the guy, it was not intentionally stepping on the foot of the guy. They went both on the ball. He went up, but some of his cleats, they overlapped the shoes of the other guy. He didn't go intentionally to hurt the guy. The game was fluid. You let him play. You allow the goal, and then all of a sudden you go back to the VAR and you call the goal off. To me, I don't know. I don't want to criticize the referees because I think they are doing a very, very good job despite all the pressure that they have on them. But the VAR sometimes, when they're not supposed to call them, they call them. And when they're supposed to call them, they don't call them. That's it. That's the only thing that I have to say.
Mike,
Wow.
Foul or no foul?
I was just surprised with it. I really wanted it to count just because it was such a beautiful goal. And, I had, Zaniolo winner ripped off his shirt. But looking it over, I know it wasn't intentional, but in the rule book, that doesn't really matter whether it was intentional or not. It did look like he stomped on him, and yeah, he didn't have time to react to really draw his foot back to prevent it from happening. But he didn't get the ball at all. He stomped on the thing. I know it wasn't intentional. I'm gonna sound like a bad guy, but I think it might be a foul.
There's no bad guy. It's your opinion. It's how you see the game.
I wanted it to count, but looking it over, VAR sometimes, for your team, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, depends how it goes.
Sounds like
But
Gattuso.
It looked like a foul. He stomped on the poor guy's foot.
I didn't think it was a foul. I'll be honest. When I watched it, I saw Tammy Abraham. He has no idea that he's trying to step on the player. He's
Does that
natural.
matter?
Yeah, he's naturally playing the ball. I mean, you can't call everything. For me, these are natural motions of the game. He does nothing to try to stomp on him. I don't even know if he realizes what happens. Is it maybe a foul when you slow it down again and you see that he steps? Okay, maybe. But for me, that goal should count. For the natural progression of the game, I think that it should have been counted.
To me, the ball was gone. He already played the ball, and the ball was gone. So it didn't have anything to do with the preventing the defender from making a play. If you prevent somebody from making a play and you kick me, okay, that is a foul. But to me, the ball was gone. You let it go. If you wanna,
Good point.
You know.
Gaetano dribbled another 3 players before he got the shoot to take the shot. Extremely good point.
Stepped on him.
Okay, he stepped on him,
but Mike, it was fluid. The play was fluid. He didn't look
I'm
what
not
he
saying
said.
it wasn't fluid.
Yeah,
or not.
I don't think it
that
impacts
matters.
anything. That's a good point. I agree with that.
Yeah, I
don't
think
think it impacts
after the
anything.
game, after the goal is over, I mean, if you thought that there was like a yellow card, you can give him a yellow card. But he played the ball. The ball was gone.
And the defender, if he didn't get stepped on, there was no way he was going to win the ball
Right.
because the ball was gone.
But in that scenario,
like
though,
that.
in corners, say you foul them before the ball's not. It doesn't matter where the ball is. If there's a foul, there's a foul. It doesn't matter if the ball was over there or over there. You fouled him over there, it would be a penalty. Using your logic, I'm saying based on that.
Peter, what do you think?
Like again, I wanted Roma to win, guys.
Mike,
I'm just saying.
It's fine. You judge something.
It just looked like a foul to me.
We're judging things the way that they are.
He broke the guy's foot. It seemed like.
The Roma fans attacking Mike.
No,
He's getting
I'm
paid
just
by
saying.
Roma. Something that we don't know.
It was a beautiful goal. And that's a shame.
We don't know, Mike. Is that something?
It was a beautiful goal. I wanted to count.
Pete.
It's one of those. I understand 50-50. I think there is a foul there. I think based on VAR of today, we don't know what the hell they're gonna do.
Yeah.
If they're gonna call it, if they don't call it like Milan Inter, so we don't know what the situation is, right? It's not a. Hold on.
I'm not saying anything.
You're about to.
So, I like that, like something like this, where it's not a straightforward a foul, that they just keep with the call that the referee takes, right? That's what we saw with Inter Milan. It's harsh, but it's a 50-50. It's one of those things that, you say, okay, it could be a foul, it couldn't be a foul, but we called it, and we're gonna call it as we saw it. The ref saw it, and that maybe could be a better or something to look into for VAR for next year.
That's fair.
Maybe. By the rule, by the letter of the law, it's a foul because the player has possession first, and then he gets stepped on.
Possession.
Or he kicks the ball and he gets stepped on. How about when a defender is about to clear the ball and
it's
somebody
true.
runs into him?
That's been called
always
many
been a
times.
foul.
Yeah,
but here the ball was gone already. He already made the play.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to say a couple of words about Genoa for the audience that they are Genoa fans. Since this new coach came in, Blessing. They have 2 ties. I mean, and this is something is changing there. I'm not sure, Mike, if they got any new player. I think they got a few new players that they came in, but I think the mentality of the team is trying to change the mentality. And this guy is I understand, is very tough with the players. And now I think they have a new director.
Pete knows a lot.
Yes. So they have a new director. He's Dutch. He's brought in with the 777 group that came in. Blessing comes from the Red Bull system.
Okay.
So it's a high press, high energy type of team. So we saw hints of that. Obviously, it takes time for a team to adapt. But they got him. He was actually a coach in Belgium. I'm gonna botch the name. Ostend. Something like that. We gotta check.
It's Norwegian or something, right?
No.
Dutch?
Belgium.
Oh, Belgian.
Yeah.
Belgian.
So he was there and he left that job to come take the Genoa job, which is risky, I think, because this is a team that's destined for relegation. If he's able to keep them up, it will be a blessing in disguise, I guess, if we want to.
You think you're so funny, Pete. How long were you saving that joke for? Pete, you definitely wrote that down like a week ago, right after you saw that. You said,
By the way,
for you to say that's corny,
by the
that's
way,
fine.
we didn't prepare this.
No, he prepared it. He's got it written down on his hand. Look at the inside of his hand.
I just wanted to
I
add.
had it and then I put it in.
Antonio, you wouldn't even say that kind of joke.
Never.
Probably that joke. I just wanted to because
I
you
got
were saying
quality jokes.
Because Gaetano was saying for the transfers. I'm checking here. They didn't make 7 signings in January.
Yeah.
So huge, a huge mercato
Quality,
for that.
not quantity.
One kid, Yeboah.
Almost more than Milan.
Yeah,
right?
Boa is interesting.
Italian, comes from the Austrian league. He scored a lot of goals in
this?
Austria. Yeboah.
Yeboah, yeah.
Yeboah.
He's also Italian.
Yeah.
He could be
From
Italian.
Sturm Graz.
Yeah.
I think he played for the youth team already.
Yeah.
And they almost have as many transfers as Milan in this mercato.
I feel bad for Shevchenko because he was a great player, was one of the top players. But I think when he came to Genoa, there was a.
It's not his fault though.
Yeah, it was.
It's not his fault.
There was a.
They're a mess.
Yeah, there was no director.
I don't think that this guy's gonna
So-
work. I don't think Blessing. It just doesn't.
No?
It just doesn't go. It doesn't go with the history of Serie A. If I go on history, a coach like this to bring into a relegation for me doesn't work. But
He changed
if
the mentality
anything-
so far.
He changed the mentality.
No,
He's got
yeah.
ties. We act like he's won games. He's got 2 ties.
almost lost.
What a
Yeah,
mentality!
but
And they should have lost.
but
If they count,
but
count that goal, they have a loss.
The first
they
game-
have a tie.
the fir-
Amazing.
the first game they
tied
should have
the-
won,
Yeah,
but they had
should have,
multiple
could have,
chances.
should have, would have.
But the coach
You
can
could
only
do the
do so
same thing
much.
with Ballardini
But
and Shevchenko.
the coach
There
can
were
only
so
do
many.
so much,
There were so
though.
many matches I watched for there where they should have won. They did 0-0 against Udinese. That was a terrible Udinese, missing so many of their players.
Yeah, but Shevchenko lost
They should've
7
won 3
games in a row.
goals.
But look who he played against.
7 games.
Look who he
played
played
the
against.
best
He had
team
the
in
hardest
Qatar.
matches.
But there's character too.
He had the
You can't
hardest
just-
matches.
You got to see the character on the field too, and to me, at least, it
Yeah, they
changed
scored 0
completely.
goals.
But I-
And they got
I'm-
0 against
I'm
Udinese,
not saying it's
0
all about the-
against
but
Roma.
I'm saying their demeanor on
and they
the
should have
field
lost
looks
against Roma.
It looks a little.
If
it looks
that
a little different.
if that goal counts, then nobody will be.
I think we're
Whatever.
wasting too much time
Yeah.
on this. Let's go on Juventus.
Well,
For the first time, you wanted to move on.
Genoa Pandev, he went to Parma.
I know.
He's with
Yeah.
Gigi
That's
Buffon.
weird.
Sorry
Yeah.
about Pandev is
Yeah,
done.
struggling a little bit, but we'll see.
Let's go with
Yeah,
Juventus
let's-
Verona.
Let's do Juventus Verona. Man, I was trying so hard to watch this game on the plane. I got the Wi-Fi. I bought the Wi-Fi was terrible.
Yeah, it's
I
not
couldn't
good.
load anything. You know, it worked. It would work for like a minute, and then it would lag me off. So what I did is I called Mike. I FaceTime Mike, and because FaceTime has lower latency.
I said
you know?
wrong number.
I FaceTime Mike, and Mike set it up on the TV. And again, it would work for a little, but then it was too
laggy,
hard. It was too hard to watch. So I watched it. I watched it right when I got back. The first thing I did, 2-0 with both new signings, Vlahovic and Zakaria scoring. The first goal from Vlahovic was a beautiful goal. Dybala plays one pass in. Again, the intelligence of Dybala to understand where a player is. And then Vlahovic, the touch was fantastic to finish it off. Exactly what was missing in the number 9 role of Juventus. But what I would say is that I found very interesting was the shape and the formation that Allegri played. I was very impressed with Alvaro Morata, who was playing on the left wing. Those are his characteristics. Morata is not he's not a real number 9. He's not a target man. He's not a hold up type of striker and finisher. He does a lot of good work off the ball in supporting a striker, a la Mandzukic. And I think he did a great job against Verona in that role. Dybala is another one. He was playing on the right side. So many people say that he can't play over there. He has a free role where he moves around and he feels the game. That's where Dybala, in my opinion, always needs to play. Not going to compare him to Messi, but he needs to play in that sort of position where wherever the ball is, wherever he feels like a player should go, he moves and he has that freedom. And then again, when you have a number 9 like Vlahovic who does a really good job at expanding the field, he'll push the defense back, hold the ball up, and allow everyone to move forward. So they did a really good job. Besides that, I'll be honest, I was not crazy about the game. I didn't think that there was still a lot of mistakes, still a lot of room for improvement. Of course, it's a first game with new players, and you win. So okay, you're happy and you feel good, but there's still so much room that's needed in improvement with this Juventus to get where they want to get.
And Verona had a nice little patch. Juve played good, considering with the new signings. But Verona in the second half, they had a very good patch of 10-15 minutes that really were troubling Juve. A lot of the pressing.
Had
They had
I
chance.
remember.
And also Simeone, their star man against Juventus in the first leg, wasn't available for that game. But overall, Tudor, who I've given a lot of credit for, we know he was the backup for Pirlo last season at Juventus. He's an interesting coach. I really like him. What he's building, he's trying to build his own kind of philosophy over there. But I'm liking how Juve started. It was written in the stars for Vlahovic to score, but then Zakaria to come out and do it. Juve's midfield's looking a little bit better, and the formation they're playing is pretty nice too. And I'm excited to see Morata play that almost like that Mandzukic role. How Allegri kind of transformed him on that left wing instead. So it's interesting.
I think a lot of this just has to do with momentum. It's the momentum shift, right? Because Juventus, they played so terrible in so many games in the first part of the season, really not attacking, not going forward. And now you just feel like, okay, they breathe a little bit. They're like, all right, we have confidence that we have somebody that's going to be able to score goals up top. It makes everybody's job easier. It makes the midfield. It makes the defense. It gives a calmness to the team. And they have this momentum going forward where they still can. I mean, they got to get into Champions League. When you sign, when you make splashes like this in January, it's a sign that you need to push for the Champions League. And I don't think they have this excuse anymore of that. They have to get into Champions League at the minimum. At the minimum. Yeah. I do think, I know this word Scudetto is thrown around. If Juventus can get back into the race of a Scudetto, I think that this weekend will be crucial. Now, we have to say this, Antonio. I don't care what your opinion. I don't care what allegiance you have.
Go ahead, spit it out.
I don't care what your allegiance is. We are the only league in the world, in Europe, that has a title race. I mean, there is 1 point that separates the Scudetto. The top four, there's a 3-horse race between Inter, Milan, and Napoli for the Scudetto still. They're so tight together, even if Inter have a game in hand. The rest of the leagues, there's a 99% chance that you know exactly who's going to win. And I don't think it's as certain anymore that Inter are going to win the league as it felt like a couple of weeks ago.
For sure.
It feels like Inter is not as perfect as maybe we could have imagined. And it's also credit to teams like Napoli and Milan who are pushing the boundaries.
Competitiveness.
Now, this weekend is massive. If you must watch Serie A this weekend. We have Napoli against Inter, which could mean so much. Napoli could hop into first place if they would beat Inter, and they're playing at the Maradona. You got Atalanta Juventus. They're in Bergamo, which Atalanta, they just coming off of a loss to Cagliari. Juventus is feeling this momentum. Their home record, Atalanta's home record is really poor. If Juventus would win that match, and if Napoli would win the Inter game, I think that you could start talking about coming up to a 4-horse race for the Scudetto, which would probably go down as being the most exciting league. And I could really feel the momentum for Serie A in this country, in the United States. It would just be beautiful if we could have, in my crazy dream, it goes to the last day, and then whatever, we scrap it out at the end. But if we could get to the end where there's 3 points between at least 3 teams, it would be a beautiful sign.
I could definitely see that happen. I just want to add really quickly, Giorgio Chiellini did get injured, unfortunately, and he's going to be out for the next few weeks. It kind of sucks because he played him 75 minutes against Verona, which isn't, the most crucial match.
He shouldn't have played.
So it was extremely risky to play.
Chiellini, for me, is a player that you just play him in certain games. You play him against Inter, you play him against Champions League, finals, and that's it.
It's not
you
worth
pick and choose.
Him.
Rugani has not been that bad.
No, he's been playing very
Rugani
good.
should play in
he
these sort of
lot.
matches.
Bonucci's coming back.
Anyway,
so that's not the point,
anything about the Juventus game?
Yeah, let Gaetano go ahead.
Yeah. So this he tried this 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1, where Morata now doesn't play with the back to the goal, but when he gets the ball, he's looking at the goal and he's looking at people in front of him. And I think he plays better like that. It's better if he's behind the first forward. So now. He has a chance, Allegri, to have, hopefully, to make an identity of this team. Hey, this is the way we're going to play from now on. Of course, you never know because some people can get hurt, but he has also nice alternative for the future with Chiesa and Cuadrado. Remember that Chiesa and Cuadrado for the future, they could be lethal weapons. So now you have Morata and Dybala with Vlahovic up front, or you could have Chiesa and Cuadrado with Vlahovic. So
Bernardeschi, don't forget.
No, Bernardeschi, we forgot Bernardeschi. So no, it looks good. And then this new player in midfield, man, the guy is like a truck. He will win the ball, he will fight with the ball, and then he will give you a nice pass, and then he will score a goal. So
Not bad.
It's pretty crazy. Juventus' midfield. I don't remember the last time Rabiot or Bentancur. I can't remember when they ever scored a goal.
Yeah,
I think Rabiot played a great game. Listen, go ahead.
So
finish up.
I mean, they couldn't have started better for Juventus and for Allegri. They got what they wanted for. So
Isn't it crazy how things
good.
change so quickly?
It looks good for the future.
a month ago, but I'm just saying the feeling around the team.
He's messing with you.
I think Juve, like you said, recognize that they need to do something, and they need to do something quick, because missing out on Champions League, more importantly,
It's not
is
acceptable.
a big. Forget about not acceptable. It's $40 million at least.
Yeah,
that
more.
you
Minimum.
lose, that you
Minimum.
lose. So you cannot risk that. Obviously, they were working. They did a great job in the market, getting rid of two players that weren't doing enough, I guess, for this Juventus side. And you're able to get, for the same amount of money, a Vlahovic, who it took him 13 minutes to score a goal for Juventus.
Beautiful goal.
Beautiful goal.
Yeah, very nice.
And this is exactly what I mentioned, where you need this type of player that in two chances that he had, he scored one. And the first chance he created himself. So, he's one of those goal scorers that he sees the goal, he smells the goal, and he's able to finish. And I think you mentioned something about momentum. I think definitely the team feels this shift, right? Where you see getting a player like Vlahovic gives you so much confidence, and you're like, wow, this guy we know can score. The same way when you have Buffon in net, you feel a certain level of confidence that you can make a mistake, but this guy can
your back,
can save it, right? And let's not forget. I'm sorry, Morata. Morata is a player that was on his way out. I think a lot of Juventus fans are upset with him, or maybe criticize him a lot, and rightfully so. Listen, you're on Juve, you're the number 9, or
produce.
You got to be able to score goals. So I think this little bit of motivation, being able to have a lesser role, less pressure, because Vlahovic is now the guy to score goals. He has a little bit more freedom, and I think he has something to prove to a lot of Juventus fans. And then, like you said, Zaccaria for me is a Patrick Vieira-esque player, where he's physical, strong, but he also has that delicate touch, and he's also able to make something happen moving forward. And listen, you paid a little bit for a player that I think for 4 or 5 years is going to be very important in this Juventus midfield, and pair him up with an Arthur, pair him up with, like you said, a Chiesa coming back, Cuadrado, who I love. Like, there's a lot of interesting factors in this Juventus team, and I think do they compete for the Scudetto? Listen, if certain things happen, they're right there. And I think Juventus calculated this.
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to push for Vlahovic now, because there is an opportunity here.
Okay,
Allegri said it's too late.
But wait, Marco, you guys said, I think you are all
Allegri
Inzaghi said the opposite.
Allegri also said that we're not going to move in January.
Pete, you guys are overhyping everything.
Not really.
He said it.
No, you know what he said though? If you actually read his thing, he said the only way you replace Morata is if you get somebody that's better than him. And he said I don't think we could get somebody that's better than him.
Listen,
you're right. It's just a little trick with words.
Listen to this. The move on Morata is the thing that I appreciated the most on the Juventus game. But if you analyze the goal, those are two defensive mistakes. The goalkeeper overcommitting, and then
but Vlahovic, goalkeeper overcommitting. But you saw Vlahovic place that.
But the second goal,
not a
perfect
goal that a lot
placement.
of people play.
There was a hole in the defense.
You getting paid $75 million. You make sure you don't over.
He's not getting the money
like that. Okay.
Verona.
Verona. If you actually analyze the game, they played a hell of a game. They played a spectacular game. They were not defending. Verona was right there with Juventus, counter-attacking during the entire game.
So not defending just means a fantastic performance?
No, but they didn't go over there trying to limit the damage. They go over there to play their game. Okay? So those two defensive mistakes, Juventus capitalize, of course, because they have the player to capitalize. And listen, Tudor, to me, did a spectacular job. He did a spectacular job.
Spectacular?
Yeah. They went over there. They didn't get trashed. and they took the game to Juventus.
think it's
Unfortunately, they didn't win.
Listen,
So-
we know that Allegri, this is his style. You're gonna play this way, and that's it.
B.
But now you have an interpreter like a Vlahovic that you get that one chance, game
Yeah,
over.
but now I wanted to see when you're going to be facing Napoli, when you're going to be facing Roma. When you're gonna
Juventus
be
has
facing
not
Juventus.
been
I think
Juventus
they-
have not been a top 4 team.
Okay. Well, we'll
Okay.
see.
Now against
Show me.
Atalanta,
Show
this
me
is your
what you have.
opportunity. This to date this season, they have not been a top 4 team. I agree with you,
I don't
Antonio.
have a lot of injuries.
Show me
I
what you
agree with
have.
you,
I like to
Antonio.
see what Vlahovic is going to be able to do it when he's got a tough
game.
defender.
It's
on
one
his
game.
ball.
A good game from them.
I wanted to see what he's going to
Listen,
capable
he's,
to do.
He's done it for the past 2 years. So I think
Let
he
me
can still
see.
do it.
Let me see.
14 in his last 14.
What do you mean?
I mean what I
With
mean. I
Fiorentina-
wanted to see what he's going to capable
Well,
to
with
do
Fior-
against
with
a big
Fioren-
team.
With Fiorentina, he played against
Yeah, but on Fiorentina, he was the only one.
tough defenders.
Scored a nice goal against
Fiorentina was
Milan.
the light. Fiorentina was the light in the middle of nowhere.
Now it's going to be in the middle of Juventus.
Yeah. Okay, now is the right time to bring this guy here back to the truth. We wanted to know.
I know this.
We wanted to know right now, in front of everybody,
Yeah.
who's your team? Is that Roma? Is that Juventus? Is that Inter? Is that
Cagliari?
Napoli? Who is it?
AC Milan.
I don't believe you. I don't believe
I
you.
think he's got some props. Don't you have some props?
Oh, yeah.
So now to confuse you even more, show the first one. Yeah. Show
Oh,
that
okay.
one.
So you wanted to know? There you go.
Oh,
There
he's
you go.
Inter.
Oh, God. That is
There you go.
disgusting. Oh, Lautaro.
A
it's
sign,
signed.
a signed jersey from
Signed Lautaro.
Lauti.
I know that Inter this week is not that popular, but
Listen,
but I got a
a
signed
nice shirt.
jersey. I got a signed original jersey, and it's signed by Lautaro.
Original. I like that. Original.
yeah, but listen.
We have to give a shout out to Serie A.
Yes.
We give a shout out to Serie A
Yeah,
who
please.
gifted you this
Yeah,
jersey.
go ahead, because they-
Michele, thank you very much. I mean, actually, it's not for us. He
It's for-
specifically said
it's
that
for Gaetano.
it's for Gaetano.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Serie A. Thank you, Michele. Thank you, Luigi.
so-
Hey, by the way, Michele, we don't still know whether it's an Inter fan or Juventus fan.
all right, so now let's make it more complicated.
Don't worry
What's-
about
what's
it.
your second?
Don't worry about it. Michele. Keep bringing me shirts. I don't care which team. I love it. I collect
And
them.
the other
now,
team,
now to make it even more
Michele, an
complicated.
Ibrahimovic shirt sign, I will be appreciated. Michele, you watching this?
Okay, and now, just to make a little bit more confusing, I got a beautiful gift from Fiorentina. Can they see it?
Here, put it like this.
Okay.
It was back upside down. You had.
There you go, Mike.
Okay.
All right, let him on.
It's this way, Mike. Here you go, guys. Look at this. This is a
All right, let him unbox it.
unboxer. Paisa.
And if we open it up, this is a beautiful gift for my granddaughter, who was born on New Year's Eve, and every newborn in Firenze gets one of these.
Beautiful.
Or also on request, they can also get it.
That's pretty crazy.
So, yeah. So this is very nice. So I thank Joe and Camille for bringing it to me. Thank you
Amazing.
very much.
Beautiful gift.
So
Does that mean your granddaughter has to be a Fiorentina fan? Or?
I think you can use the sippy cup yourself for the little thing. I think Joe gave it to you just because you deserve it.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But I gotten it like a million times. What fan you are? I always say that. I know you grew up a Roma fan, but you're more sportivo. I think you just like a good game. You like playing the game the right way.
So what
No,
fan
I
are
mean,
you?
I think if
Once
you're a
again.
professional,
Once again.
But a lot of friends they ask me. I said,
Yeah.
Antonio, is Juventus?
yeah,
is Gaetano a
I grew
Juventus
up.
fan?
I grew up going and watching. Well, I lived 3 months in Holland, in Amsterdam. So every Sunday morning I used to go to Rome. Or not every Sunday morning, but when Roma used to go, because I used to love Falcao. I used to go and watch Roma play. But I loved Maradona and Napoli. When Napoli was winning, I was very happy that they won the Scudetto. So I follow them. I followed Juventus with Platini because he was a great player. I follow Inter when they won the tripleta and when they beat Barcelona. I was very proud of that. I follow your AC Milan with Gullit, Rijkaard, Van Basten, Donadoni, all those great players, Baresi, Maldini. I follow them because growing up in this country, and now this year is going to be 50 years that I live in Brooklyn.
Wow.
when we went to high school and we had people from Yugoslavia and we had people from France and we had people from the Caribbean and people from Brazil and Argentina and all those countries that they were all going against Italy, if we had one team representing Italy in the European Cup or in the Intercontinental Cup, which we won many times, okay, with Inter, with Juventus, and with AC Milan, of course you're gonna be a fan of that team, because in the community where we were living, we were so proud. Hey, the Italians won.
In your heart, in your heart, what is your team? Did you have a heart? What is your team bleeding for?
I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree Gaetano is original flipper. So that could be his new nickname, right?
You want to know my team? Okay, my team is Palermo.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Sicilian to the core, right?
Antonio was messaging in the group chat, I think, 1,000,000 times about calling
with a
you
lot
out.
of emojis.
Lots of emojis.
He's not scared to use emojis.
Speaking about Fiorentina, they lost 3-0 to Lazio this weekend. Lazio, both of these teams, I was thinking, need a result. Lazio's very strange situation that's going on with Maurizio Sarri, who there was even reports that he could maybe resign or not extend anymore and not stay at Lazio past the season because he's not happy with what they did in the January transfer market, and he's not happy overall with the things that are happening at Lazio. But winning cures all. Winning solves everything. Did anybody watch the match?
Yes. The second half, I think Fiorentina made three very, unforgivable defensive mistakes. Especially with the goal kick, the ball gets kicked over, the defender is right there, and then Immobile just walks technically to the goal and he scores the goal. That's, to me, you cannot really forgive a defender for making a mistake like that. I mean, the first goal was a very good goal. Nobody's taking anything away. But 3 mistakes from Fiorentina, I think the game is over. I think, Lazio, they played a decent game, but. Savic is a Savic. You have to just stay on top of that guy because, hey, what do you want to do? You just leave Savic half of or 1 inch. He's going to punish you. So, I don't know. To me, I think Fiorentina is still struggling with the idea that they no longer have Vlahovic with them, and they're trying to find a new identity. This new sign, I don't know him that well. I think we're gonna see what's really with this new kid. I think he might play a high dividend for Fiorentina. I hope so. But right now, he was subbed 20 minutes before the end of the game. The second half, I didn't watch. I watched half of the first half. He really did not impress me. He went 2-3 times trying to hit the ball with his head in some very decent cross, but he didn't connect. So I don't know. I cannot really judge Fiorentina on a game like this without Vlahovic. I like to wait and see a couple more games, and I think I have a lot of faith in Italiano. Italiano is going to be capable. He's going to put the new squad together in a very short amount of time.
I was just a little bit disappointed for Fiorentina's defense overall. I just feel like they were very discombobulated and made a lot of rookie and amateur mistakes. But that's not something in the long run that's going to happen. I feel like that was more of like a one-time thing. And, you got to give them time. Like Antonio said, they lost their star player. But we'll give Cabral some time. I always want to give, especially strikers, because scoring in Serie A is obviously the hardest than any other league. So I want to give him some time. He looked a little promising, had a few chances, but I'm going to let them soak, see what Italiano could do. And, they got a lot of potential. We'll see.
It's I met somebody in Milano who was really good. I got to ask him if I could share the rest of his stories. I'm not going to say who it was, but he was part of, iconic Italian winning teams that brought us a lot of joy. And I asked him his favorite coach. I said, who's the best coach? He said Guardiola. And then I said, no. I said, give me somebody in Italy. He said, I'm obsessed with Italiano. Obsessed. And this is a guy that knows the game, that has been around some of the best. He's been in teams with some of the greatest players of all time. And that's what he told me. And I do agree with him. I think Italiano could do really well. He does have a bit of a struggle now. Let's see without Vlahovic how he does. Obviously, since Spezia, though, we know that he's quality. And hopefully this guy Cabral can come up big and can come up scoring goals. I know he did it in Basel, but Serie A is a different league. The numbers aren't very impressive. Let's see if he can transition that into the league. Last thing, Napoli won 2-0 against Venezia. Again, now they're getting Koulibaly, who just won the African Cup of Nations. Hopefully, they get some of their star players back into a better form, and they'll be able to push forward because they went through a hard period. Napoli went through this. They started the season really good, then they simmered off. They had lots of injuries. They had players that left. I think now even Lobotka looked really good in the game. He's shown his quality. The guy's got a weird athletic ability. Like, I don't know, when I watch him,
for a stocky
looks-
guy,
yeah, he's stocky.
He's very nimble. He can move around.
he's got a touch though.
He's
got a
definitely
sick
improved
touch.
from when he first came, and
It's like
we'll
you
see.
without a touch, man.
You calling me stocky?
No, I mean, yeah.
No, but has weight problems. He has weight problems. He has a hard time
really?
keeping his weight.
I mean,
he's a very good technical player, but this is something that's
really?
been a problem with
Okay.
Napoli for a while now.
So I had my doubt about Napoli because of the African Cup, that we're going to have some of the best players missing, Osimhen and Koulibaly and Anguissa, and I said, okay, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it, but the African Cup is over. I think everybody's back, is going to be back for the next game, and they're still way up there. So if something happens on Sunday, which I can't wait, and don't miss the game on Paramount Plus. Or CBS Sports, Napoli against Inter. That's going to be big. And that game can change a lot for the future of the Scudetto.
And I just want to
Get
add.
Ludovic over here, please. Do me a favor.
Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna come.
No, I already told.
Why not?
I told him a week in advance. He said he's gonna try his best to
Okay.
come.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
I already told.
superstitious. I'm
I already
surprised.
told him from advance. Like I'll try to make.
All right, can I come?
Gaetano.
I'm
only clear.
I'm
People
only
forget
kidding.
He said to me, I was not invited.
No, I'm only
and I
kidding.
took-
Mike texted me. He said, "I
I
just
took
don't
him
want your
He's
dad
lying.
here."
He's
So he's
lying.
on.
Alright,
He's
he's
lying.
okay.
I didn't think
Alright.
Gaetano wanted to come. So if you need me, give me a call and I can come. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I made sure more
Did you
people
give him
could
a
come.
call?
What do you mean? I told him I'll let you know if I need you.
Did you let him know? Did you let him know? Did you let him know?
And he took
Okay,
it to me.
regardless.
Actually said, I didn't want him to come over here.
Gaetano, you're always invited. Antonio sometimes is invited. So
Alright.
that's an official invitation.
I'm saying it right now. I'm gonna make the prediction. Napoli is not losing this game.
Oh,
Napoli
boy.
will not lose.
I'm
this
getting
match.
too excited. It's still
you
so
have
early.
to give a real prediction.
I would like to see the
Yeah,
lineup
that's
to.
early.
Okay,
Later
so
on, they will.
I will-
It's early.
Napoli's gonna win. Napoli's gonna beat you.
Take that. I'll
It's
take
too
that.
early.
I
No,
respect
no,
that.
He wants a
I respect
prediction.
that.
Okay, I might change it until the day of. I'm gonna say
But
that
don't say the score yet.
it's
No,
fine.
no,
I can say.
You don't have to say the score. You just have to say
if
they
it's
win or
true,
tie.
I'm buying you the best panino in all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
world.
You with the.
I'm so sorry for my steak.
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
so waiting for my
I'll
steak.
make the panino for you.
Don't eat that.
Dada,
Such a downgrade. That's
Anything
such a
that your
downgrade
hands
from
touch,
the
I'm not
panino
eating.
to now a panino
Okay,
that I
so
make.
Where does he owe us a dinner?
And then a
What
steak.
dinner? What are you
Steak.
talking about?
Steak.
Dinner.
How many times we won and they never paid?
Yeah, where?
So listen, I wanted to say an incredible stat from Napoli. If you guys are unaware, living under a rock, Napoli have the best defense in Italy right now. With, like Gaetano was saying, Koulibaly out in the African Cup of Nations. We have Rahmani and Juan Jesus actually doing incredible stuff. They have 13 clean sheets so far, the most in the top 5 leagues. I just want to let you, without their I thought you were gonna forget about that. Without their best future captain Kalidou Koulibaly, and now he's back to do some damage. So
And he's
Spalletti's
back
doing
as a
incredible
champion.
Stuff. That's
Back
right.
as a champion is different.
Does he
That's
start?
true.
You feel when
That's a
you
good
win,
question, too.
you don't want to lose anymore.
No, it's
you
true.
want to
They're gonna do a lot.
continue
Spalletti's
winning.
been doing incredible stuff for people that didn't like Spalletti, like you.
They just
You
try to
gotta
hide
give him
him.
a lot of credit.
So Marco said that Napoli will not lose this game on Sunday.
That I'm sure. I'm sure that
You're
Napoli
sure.
will not
And
lose.
35 injuries tomorrow.
so I'm going to go on record and say that I'm sure that Inter will not lose this game on Sunday.
Oh boy!
I think
Okay.
I'm going to go farther than that.
And then
I think Inter, unfortunately, is going to take the game. They're going to win. They're going to win.
I mean, they're the
Pete?
reigning champs.
No comment.
No, you gotta come
a
on.
little
Yeah, you just pushed me. You just
Okay,
yelled
I
at
said-
me.
we didn't say the
Inter's not
score.
gonna
It's
lose the
Monday.
game.
We didn't say the
It's
score.
I'll
Monday.
say Inter's not going to lose the game.
I
take
s-
that.
I think it's gonna be a draw.
So basically, all we said was it's
But
gonna
it's
draw.
so early.
If you find what we
There's
all
six-
said,
there's
we
6
all basically.
days.
I
There's
said
6
Inter is
days.
going to win the game.
I'll take a draw.
There's 6
A
days.
draw. A draw.
It's
Would
so
you take a
early.
draw?
Yeah, he'd definitely take a
You,
draw.
would you sign for a draw?
He'd definitely take a draw.
Sign for a draw. Yeah, why not? Because
You're scared,
we
eh?
have Oh, Napoli's.
You still will be, if you win, you'll be 4 points ahead.
Of course, but we also have a game at hand versus Bologna, so I think we can accept a draw in this case.
Listen,
we don't want to lose. We can't lose 2 games in a row.
You missed a big game yesterday. Me and Mike yesterday. I came over here with the hope to watch the Juventus game with Verona, with the hope that Verona will come out with something positive from Torino. It didn't happen, but at the same time, on the top screen, I was watching the final of the Africa Cup. We have a lot of friends that they're Egyptian and other friends that they're not Egyptian, that they were playing at the same time over there. And I was telling you, it was heartbreaking to watch the game, especially after the game.
The penalties were
watching Mane try to console Salah. I'm telling you,
it was tough.
It was one of the toughest games to watch.
Really?
And Omar, if you're watching this podcast, we love you. We have the Egyptian shirts. We have everything that we're gonna be wearing.
I mean,
for
Egypt
you.
did incredible too.
But he thought Egypt was going to get knocked out a long time. I remember when I spoke to him, he's like, "Nah, we don't even have a team this year."
Egypt weren't supposed to be in the final. And they did amazing going all the way to the final.
You need a goalkeeper from Egypt. What a goalkeeper they have.
And he's a second keeper too.
Oh my
We
God.
got Onana.
Listen.
Oh, no.
Watch the Egyptian goalkeeper. He's spectacular. He saved the unsavable.
He was doing
Unfortunately, on the
incredible
penalty kick, he couldn't come up.
He went the right way too
Any
for
final,
Mane.
any game, there's going to be a winner and a loser. So it's just
And,
part of.
It's going to be like when Antonio and I, we beat you guys in foosball right after this.
We'll see.
Well, which is
He was
happening
feeling
all the
hot.
time.
He was feeling hot on Saturday.
Yeah?
Everything he touched turned into gold.
I'm always hot.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm always hot.
So I have the last 2 things real quick. The one thing was if Bobo could have changed something in soccer, what would it be? And he said no red card. And my suggestion had been if you get a red card, but you can substitute and bring somebody in. So Bobo, good job.
I agree with that.
And
I second that.
And the last thing, if please for the next time,
I'll invite you, okay?
No. No, for the next time, if you could dress a little bit differently because you look like twins. I don't know who's who. Okay, I'm having a little problem
I told
to
Antonio
identify.
I'm wearing this shirt, so don't wear it and look what he shows up with.
You know, like the
Unbelievable.
twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's the twins.
That's exactly what
I
I
don't
was
even know
thinking.
who he is.
He's Danny DeVito. He's Danny
Check the
DeVito.
jealous.
Danny DeVito.
Like, I don't know if he's Danny DeVito.
So there's a movie, Twins, where Schwarzenegger, who's 7'5", is a twin, and is Danny DeVito, who is like
we're gonna go to
4'5".
Side by side.
Listen.
Oh, that is hilarious.
And I say,
That's too good.
Are you trying to say that I'm much taller than Mike?
it's twins.
That is hilarious.
Who's the
That's
taller
great.
one and who's the shorter one?
That's great.
This is reasons why Mike keeps his hair like that.
I'm gonna grow and try to pull
like
this 6 foot off so I can be
like
taller.
a woodpecker.
How do you say woodpecker in Italian?
That's a good
Picchio.
one. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
you're
Ascoli.
right.
Oh, yeah,
Picchio,
Ascoli,
Picchio.
you're right.
Yeah, Picchio.
Forza Ascoli, guys, by the way.
Credit to you.
Uccello Picchio.
I mean, we
Picchio
should
Cello.
all know that.
No, Picchio. That's the name of the bird, actually. Picchio.
All right, guys. Thank you for everybody that's watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, tune in to Paramount on the weekend for all of the matches. And as always, we'll talk to you soon. Ciao,
And last
ragazzi.
thing, Jovinko is gonna sign with Sampdoria.
Grande, Sebastian.
Huge news. We're gonna
Grande.
be big, watching
We'll see
you
you
all the
soon.
time.
And he's going to get his ass kicked by AC Milan.
I don't know about
All right.
that.
We'll see you
Ciao,
soon.
guys.
Bye.